Greetings, everybody. Patrick here. Have Cheetah Will View and 8 questions with. And thank you for coming by the show tonight. Uh, we are going to be talking with actress Becky Ru. Will be here with us in about 15 minutes. She is one of the stars of the fun and exciting instant cult classic Clay Zombies. And yes, yet another one of those Ohio actors um, that seems to be just coming out of nowhere. Um, hmm. Let me go check because I looks like I got an error message here. So let me go make sure that I am fine over on Facebook. That might be a problem. So let me go there and fix it. See if that's the case. Yeah, we do dual streaming now, so sometimes things go a little bit goofy. And it looks like to be a little bit goofy. I don't know. Okay. Okay. I think that's because I'm early. That's what it is. Okay. So we're good to go. We're good to go. Let me just click this off here. And yeah, we're back and running. All right. Yeah, that's right. The reason why it is I always go up early and I don't do that. I don't do that when I do my Facebook. So yeah, so we're dual streaming. Hey Drew, how are you? Hey Steven. Our good friend Steven, House of Horrors, rolling in strong. Getting ready for this weekend's interview with the lovely Jessica Cameron. Maybe a guest appearance by Solomon. Uh, hey Anthony, how are you? Wow, see, look at that. See, you went from 718 to 722. See? And Jaden, hello, hello. So tonight we're going to be talking with actress Becky Ru, and we're going to be talking to her about her first role here. This is her first role. This is her first interview. Uh, oh, okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Look at that. Look at John just coming in and dropping some good news for me. Thank you so much, John. You're the man. And guess what? I will be there tomorrow. I will be there tomorrow for your show with Lisa Wilcox. Um, which I will talk about here in a second. So, first of all, I want to say last night was so much fun. Oh my gosh, that was one of the funnest shows we've done with Emily Whitcomb. You guys in the chat were just blazing away. We have some heavy hitters in the chat. Film directors coming in, actors. It's really cool. You guys are all just tearing it up right now. Um, and thank you for that support. I really do appreciate it. We're working hard here. Uh, and you guys are coming out and sharing us out, supporting us, watching the replays. It all adds up. It really truly does. Uh, I really do appreciate it very much. And I will actually be getting out a little bit more in the community myself once this month is over. Uh, yeah, this month has taken all my energy to do. I am filling holes as I go. I have to work around schedules. Our guest tomorrow night, Audrey Neal, she was on an assignment, and they changed her time, so that took her out of her our show tomorrow. She will be back with us on the 22nd of March. And like I told her, and I'm sure John tells his guest and Stephen tells his, we work around our guest's schedule. It's not our schedule, it's their schedule. We have to shape it around what they can do. So if they can't do a certain date because something's going on, we just go ahead and we work around that. Um, I know when I give dates, I'll offer like 2 or 3 alternatives. I'll sit there and say, these are the dates that I have. Whatever one fits your schedule the best, go ahead and take it. So basically, they get to book themselves because they know themselves when they have to work and what's the best time for them to come in and do the show. So that's how we do things here. Some are you can ping them up and sit there and say, would you like to do this date? And they'll say yes right away. But sometimes you have to ping, you have to work around their schedules too. Uh Thank you, Pat. I almost said my name there. Thank you, John. Doomsday Crypt in the house, DK. I think the new god of the Friendly Men. The Friendly Men are looking at Doomsday Crypt, and they see godlike powers coming from John and Brett Wagner and Beatrice. Uh, and you know what? They wouldn't be wrong in doing that. And I can actually say this now that I have no show tomorrow. But tomorrow night on Doomsday Crypt at 8 o'clock, I'm sort of glad I didn't have to go nose to nose with you yet tomorrow, John. Quite honestly, because I wanted to see that show with Lisa Wilcox, and I was thinking I'm gonna have to see a replay. And I know you wanted to see my interview with Audrey Neal, and you're gonna have to see that on replay. But now that I'm gonna be able to go over there and see it live, you and I are both getting the best of both worlds. Tomorrow night on Doomsday Crypt, John will be interviewing Lisa Wilcox. And that will be a terrific interview. I've actually tried to get Lisa Wilcox, but I got shot out of the saddle. That's right, I got shot out of the saddle. I don't have the cachet like certain. No. Oh. See, I'm building you up, John. I'm making you a living legend. Um, so yeah, that's what happens. So once in a while, our guests have to go. They have to go where the work takes them. But yesterday was a lot of fun. We got to talk to Emily. That was her first interview, which really surprised me. It surprised me because she's got a nice body of work going. And it sort of surprised me. There's a lot of actors out there that have not gotten have not gotten press. It's press is very important. Um, More so now than probably ever because there's just so much content out there. You have to be able to get yourself noticed. And even though you're doing tiny shows like this, it does get you noticed. You will pop up on search engines. Somebody will replay it. Somebody will drop a comment. Somebody will share it on Facebook or whatever it is. Your press is important. So I was really glad to get Emily's first interview, and we're doing it with Becky today. Like I mentioned yesterday, this is her debut. This is her film debut with Clay Zombies, and her first interview. And she told me, she says, am I going to be the right person for you to talk to? And like I said yesterday, is you're the perfect person to talk to. I mean, because how exciting is it to actually be able to talk to somebody who just starting out? It's so much fun because they're just starting. They're not jaded, they're not tired, they're not being pulled apart like taffy, like a lot of like a lot of stars are, especially in horror. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine how many times Danielle Harris gets a phone call wanting somebody to talk to her? Felicia Rose, Kelly Maroney, Brink Stevens, Brett Wagner. You know how many times they get called and everybody wants a piece of their time. It gets really tired. It's tiring. It's tiring. I saw that with bands. Holy cow! I mean, there'd be like journalists all the time. Hey, can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? It's like as soon as they land and got off the bus, you uh, uh, as soon as they get off the bus, you had people there. Can I talk to you? Can you give me a quote? And it's a hard thing to put under. Even though you signed up for it, it's still really hard. It's still really hard. Um, yeah, that's a really fun interview, John. That's a really fun interview. And I saw your interview with Dennis. That was I have Dennis coming in April, which is why I couldn't stay. I couldn't stay because I didn't want to. I just wanted to I want to have a fresh perspective with Dennis. I really was glad to see him, and he really loves you, man. That's for sure. Um, Yes, he loves. Yes. But there's times where Brett wants to just be by himself, And same thing with a lot of the actors. They've been in the business for 20 or 30 years, and there's just times where they just want to be by themselves. Like to go to an event, to go out to dinner, go out to a show without anybody always wanting something from them sometime, every time, all the time. Um, so when you get an artist like Becky, who is just now starting out. Before that all happens, you get to talk to her, and you'll see just a fresh outlook of how they see things, how artists see things, and it's really really fun to do. Um, all right, let me get the calendar out here because the calendar is everything. So tomorrow we will be dark. Tomorrow we will be dark. There will not be a show tomorrow. Yep, that show got rescheduled to the 22nd. To the 22nd. So that's when we'll see Audrey Neal. On the 9th, Thursday the 9th, we have Carolyn Fortin will be here at 8 o'clock. She will be here, and looking forward to meeting her and talking to her about her career. She's a very nice young lady, and I'm looking forward to talking to her. And on the 10th, we have the lovely August Kiss will be here with us, and we'll be talking about the remake of Killbots that she is currently filming with Jim Warnarski. Okay, on the 13th uh, uh 13th of March, Monday, we have Katie Grams will be here with us, and she is a effects person and an actress, and she will be with us on the 13th. On the 14th, we have actress Susan K. Chambers will be with us. Really good actress and a terrific artist. Um, wow, another one of those dual threats. Tremendously gifted. Um, so we'll be talking to her about her career. She just got done wrapping up a guest appearance on Chicago Med. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Talking to her what it's like working on a big network show. Plus, we'll talk art. And you know me, I love art. We've had our fair share of our true artists on here. Um, so we will be talking with Susan on the 14th at 8 o'clock. On the 15th, we have a double header. That's right, a double header here on the channel. Women in Horror Month. First on the 15th, we have actress Amina. Well, I'm going to call her Amina. We'll call her Amina Hatari. Hatchery. And she will be here talking about her short film Aliens versus Hippie Goths. It's a really fun short film, and in fact, I will be reviewing it shortly after we have her as a guest. I'll be reviewing that. That show will be at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. And then at our regular time, we will have makeup artist Bree Hill will be here with us at 8 p.m. And she will be here with us talking about special effects and makeup. That'll be a lot of fun. And then on the 16th, we have horror author Jennifer P. Tuck. Now, some of you have seen Jennifer. She's been on our chats, but now she's going to be behind the mic. That's right, because we brought Jennifer up, and she will be a guest, and we will be talking horror, written horror. And I'm looking forward to that. And that will also be at 8 o'clock. On the 17th, St. Patrick's Day, trust me when I say this, you're going to want to be here. You're not going to want to be out there with St. Patrick's Day drinking and getting a headache for the next day. You want to be here with us. We rescheduled cosplayer Vale. She will be here with us on the 17th at 8 p.m. And again, I have to tell you, I'm so jazzed. I'm so excited for this show. I really am. It's going to be a lot of fun. Just a tremendously talented young lady, and her cosplay is just on point. She is part of Night Vale, which is the resident, and then her character is Lady. I can't see how the name is pronounced. I don't know. It's the tall lady from Resident Evil Village, the Village. She's the really tall Lady D. I can't pronounce it, so I'm not going to attempt to. But if you see a picture in front of my page, channel, you'll see her. She's the one dressed in all in red. So she'll be here on St. Patrick's Day, and then we have a matinee show on Saturday the 18th at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. We have a matinee show. We did it early in the afternoon, not crossing up anybody else. We will be talking to actress Annika Foster will be here with us at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, 1 o'clock Pacific. So, and we have more. We still got more. It's only half the month is over. Yeah, I don't know how to say it, John. I know it's it's I think it's Greek. No, you know what it is? It's Romanian. It's Romanian. It's I it's out there. I should just go ahead and just like I should just go ahead and find it. So let's see. So you guys can know. So you guys know what I'm talking about. Better yet, why don't I just go to her page so I can do that, and then you guys can check that out because I don't know how to say it. Okay, and I guess this is a very popular character for cosplayers right now, but I haven't seen anybody do it quite like her. Yes, thank you, Echo. Yes, that's it. So there's Vale's Instagram page. So I don't want to mispronounce anybody's words or their name. I mean, yikes. All right, our guest is here, dead on time. So let's go get her. Please help me welcome in Becky Ru to the show.
Hello. I am literally never on time for anything, so let's count
No,
this
you
as
are
a
you are
win.
dead on time here. You are on time here. Perfect.
Perfect.
Uh, uh, how are you today? Are you ready? Are you ready to have some fun with us here on Eight Questions?
Yes, I'm nervous. I don't do a ton of interviews, so I'm excited, but I'm
Yeah.
nervous. So
Is this your first interview?
it's actually my second interview, but it's my first solo interview.
Oh, so you did one with a cast.
Yeah, Jake and I think Alex and I did one maybe almost a year ago at this point, maybe. It's been a while.
Wow. See, that really perplexes me because we talked to an artist yesterday, an actress yesterday, and she's got like 9 or 10 credits underneath her belt, some feature films, and and then I found out that was her first interview too. And
Really?
yes, and it really surprises me when I run across artists such as yourself, and I sit there and say, "Is this your first interview?" I can't tell you how surprised I am every time I hear someone say, "Yeah, it is,"
Yeah, this
because
is
to
my
me,
first.
yeah, because to me, it's like you got work, you got 9 or 10 movies backed up. Hasn't somebody come and talk to you about that? And they
Yeah,
haven't.
that's insane that it's been 9 or 10 and she hasn't. I'm scooching a little bit closer. Hold on. Hopefully you don't fall.
And Jake has just walked inside the chat. And also the Professor Macabro has rolled in as well, my co-pilot on the Midnight Society. Welcome everybody. Please feel free to share us out. Um, I was just talking about a cosplayer I'll be interviewing in March, and she dresses up like this character, and I could not pronounce her name at all. I still don't even know how to. I just called her Lady D because that's the only thing I could go with and not, blow it.
Right. That's fair. That's fair. We have a friend that does amazing cosplay. Her Instagram is, I think it's Achu, like AHHHH Chu cosplay. You should check her out if you ever get a chance. She does an
Um,
amazing job.
yes, and you should check out Vale's page. It's insane. I cosplay. When did cosplay become like so major league?
I don't know, but it did. It
It
really
really
did.
did. It
I know.
really did.
Yeah,
I remember it. I remember it almost being like a step down from Halloween. Halloween night. See all these people dressed up in their like in Halloween costumes, and next thing you know, it's like now they walk in and they're stars of themselves. Their costumes are just on point. It's
absolutely. They
insane.
do phenomenal work.
Yeah. Um, so, how was your day today? What did you do with yourself to get ready? What did you do to get ready for us tonight?
So I had a 9 hour long spa day. No, I worked and then I napped, then I ate Chinese, and now I'm here. A lot of self care.
Chinese is the perfect food to eat when you do an interview. I
Yeah, I'm
dare, I
still
dare
thinking
say.
that. Maybe some popcorn just to go with the movie theme, but
Oh yeah, I've never had anybody do popcorn while we're doing an interview.
I mean, I could totally have my husband throw some in the microwave if we get hungry.
We could hear the popping in the microwave.
Yeah,
Um, so uh, Clay Zombies. This is your first movie.
it
Uh,
is. Yeah.
you had a lot of fun doing it.
Oh, it was so much fun. I didn't know what to expect, but it was a really, really good time. It was a really good time. And I hope he makes 18 more movies.
I rumor has it, rumor has it that there's supposed to be a Christmas Clay Zombie special coming.
There
That's what
is.
that's what
There
I
is.
I can't wait to see that.
I'm
I had
excited too.
I had so much fun with this movie. This movie is it restored my faith in independent horror. This is what it's supposed to be about, you know? This is like
Absolutely.
absolute joy. It's not sarcastic. It's made with love. Now I've seen some directors that come out there and they made some movies for $207 and you know who you are. But I always felt like they're just mocking the process. It's like, oh look at I got $200. Let me go see how cheap I can do this and get away with it.
Right. How jokey can this be?
Right. And you know what? It doesn't really work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. I mean, if you go in there and you're disrespecting the audience already, I think that because horror fans they're not the usual anymore. It's not the usual fandom anymore.
Mm-mm.
They're damn smart and
Yeah. And they know when you're trying to give them good quality or they know when you're trying to mock them.
and I think the one thing that go out there to try to get the mockery going, the sarcasm, that like look at they'll go for anything, that kind of routine.
Yeah.
I think they get exposed really early, whereas a movie like Clay Zombies comes out, and you could definitely see and watch it is made with love and respect. It's like how much
Yeah.
fun are we having, and we want you to join in with us.
Absolutely. And I
That
know that was made with lots of love. That movie was made with a ton of love and sweat and tears and all the other things that come with trying to, be an independent producer.
let's see. Can you see the chat? Okay.
No, I can't. Where's the I bet if I click chat, I can see it under comments. There we
Yeah.
go.
All right. All right. Here we go. We got our famous chef is in the house, Maple Cook. Bill
Nice.
in the house. Our friend Waffles is here. Waffles got me good yesterday. I'm getting you back for that, Michael. That double feature. I'm trying to tell you. Let's see, our good friend Echo Zero. Cosplay's been around for years and years, but with social media like Instagram, YouTube, Twitch have to get big so that the Sci-Fi Channel has had old cosplay shows. God, that would be. When's the last time Sci-Fi actually had anything related to science fiction on?
I couldn't tell you.
Me neither. Me neither. I can't tell you either. I mean, I used to watch Sci-Fi Channel and Saturday nights. It's come out all these fun movies like Clay Zombie, and then we watch Saturday night, and you'd be like, hell yeah, because it's the most dangerous night on television. And then they got away from that, and now we have you want to watch James Bond or Fast and the Furious on Sci-Fi Channel?
Yeah, it's all blockbuster movies that don't really make sense for science fiction.
No. So what's it like? I don't have any preset questions, so I'm going to
Okay.
go ahead and start you with the one question that I always bring to the party, and that is, where were you born and raised at? Because I don't hear a Southern accent here.
I was born and raised in Ohio.
Okay, okay. Now, were you? Now, I thought I might have misread this, but did you ever live down in South at all, or were you just always an Ohio native?
Always, well, I was born in Kentucky, lived there for 2 years. Like literally the first 2 years of my life. And then I actually have migrated more northeast Ohio. So I'm up near Youngstown now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you were born in the well, I don't know. Is Kentucky considered the South anymore? I guess it
I don't
would
want to
be.
offend anybody.
I can do that.
I
It's
Yeah, maybe.
okay. Okay. So, you consider yourself Ohio then?
Yeah, definitely.
Uh,
Born,
how,
I guess I wasn't born there. I was born in Kentucky, but I forget that sometimes. So I think I said I was born and raised, but I wasn't. Just
how
raised.
how does it how since you started your career, did you plan? I mean, did you always start when you were younger? when did you get involved in this? Was because I have a feeling this was something that did you do this as a child? Did you get into plays and musicals and stuff like that? Is
Yes, definitely plays. And of course, growing up with like video cameras and stuff, because I'm, a good salt of the earth millennial who had access to new growing technology all the time. So always, filming videos and making different videos and stuff. And then we went to a really big church that had really big church productions. So I was always in those. I was in children's choir. I was in Annie, and I can't remember if I was in another play. If I had my way, I would be a full time. I would just be in plays all of the time because I love the theater.
Is theater more your speed than film and TV? You think?
Probably. I don't have a ton of experience in film to say so. Jake was I think Jake was a unique director. I've watched, I don't know if you've watched on Netflix, The Movies That Made Us. It's a really interesting little like look maybe behind the scenes at really popular movies. And it sounds like directors come in all shapes and sizes, but some of them aren't very pleasant at all. So I think if I ran into one of those, that would be a little bit different. Ugh. Jake was a unique experience, I think.
I can actually say I've interviewed a few directors and I've talked to a few actors here. I have yet to meet only one actor that told me one bad story about one director.
Really? All
Yeah,
right, so they're just horror stories.
yeah. Everybody that I've talked to says, how do you handle, director this and that, and they've always said that, this is what we do, this is how I handled it. And the thing about it is, they don't have to say that. They're just saying they're just sharing their experience. I think it's just like anything else. I think if you come in there and you have a bad reputation, as a
Mhm.
director, you come in there and you have a bad reputation, you're not going to work very long. You're just not.
Yep.
I think the word of mouth gets out there, and it's like, I want you to come do a movie with me. No, I'll pass. I'll
No
wait for.
thanks. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially if you're not, you're not like the Steven Spielbergs of the world where your name alone means something huge, in the Hollywood world.
man. That sort of makes me wonder. I wonder because I've never read this, Becky. I've never read that Steven Spielberg has ever lost his temper on a set. Somewhere down the line, you would think that you would read across that.
That somewhere he's lost. Yeah.
Right. Like some
Yeah.
directors, yeah, that they've lost their temper because it's out there. But I'm thinking of someone like Steven Spielberg or Ron Howard. I think they're just like they're model directors.
They just
They
love what they do. They're salt of the earth types.
right.
Yeah.
Um, so you got your start in theater. So
Yes.
how did you take that all the way through high school into college or
No. Um, I acting is certainly. Oh, my cats have got the zoomies, so sorry if you can hear them.
yeah,
I certainly acting is not my full time career, unfortunately. But I think high school was really kind of where I did a lot of stuff, and then in college I kind of focused maybe more on my degree in psychology, and then from there kind of went into my full time career. So this is really like a passion side thing for me. So that's why it was really cool to get a chance to be in Jake's movie because I didn't have I Jake and I apparently I forgot I didn't realize this, but he had told me that maybe in seventh grade we had did an improv thing together, and I didn't remember that. But so apparently, he saw my skill set from an early age. But it was just really cool to get back into the limelight, for lack of a better word. It was just so fun to put on it's really actually my persona. Anastair Delby is very similar to me. I think that's why Jake thought of me when he was writing it and cast me in her role. But it was fun to put on a different persona and just, act, get lost in another character.
you say you got your degree in psychology. Are you a psychologist?
I'm a therapist, so I didn't get my PhD, but yeah, I'm a full time. That's my full time gig as a therapist.
Um, now that's a really cool gig to have, considering and especially doing acting. It's like that's a different combo skill set. I mean, you can get into your characters a whole lot quicker than a lot of people do.
That's
Here
kind
you
of what I was thinking. Yeah, I spend every hour of every workday at least sitting and getting into somebody else's headspace and their shoes and that empathy component. So I imagine that even if I took a role that was super outside of my character or out of my general personality, I probably would be able to adjust to that pretty well.
Now, after you got out of school, while you got your degree and you started going to work as a therapist. Now, how long did it take, between you going to school and then you setting up you becoming a therapist? How long was the gap between between acting jobs before Jake came up to you and said, "Hey, I got something for you"?
Like, Jake's acting job was the first one I had done in since high school.
Wow, so a big gap there.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely big gap.
Nothing at all. You did nothing at all to keep the skills
No,
sharpened.
unfortunately, I was looking, my friend Holly she does like minor local theater productions, and I always love going to see her and her stuff. And I've been looking, I live in Youngstown, so there's not a ton of stuff, but I keep looking for like local theater gigs and stuff like that to just get my feet wet again. Because once again, I love the stage. If I lived closer to a big city, I probably would be way more involved in some of the projects that they do. Like Jake's, like a good chunk of the cast, they participate in different film competitions and stuff. And if I lived closer, I would totally, be in on doing those
Wow,
things.
you could do the 48. You could do that. You're only away for 2 days.
Right? It's only 48 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
no,
I
no.
definitely could. So there are opportunities, but yeah, I really focused on my I'll say my professional career because that's like my daytime job. But um I've always had some form of, I think, acting. So in one of my, or like performing maybe, in a previous job, I did some like networking and marketing type stuff. And that felt very similar to donning not a role, but like turning on and like being, in the spotlight, for lack of a better word. So I feel like there's always been a thread of that's run through everything I do because maybe that's just my personality and part of my skill set.
I was just actually thinking, you're part of that is, you're helping people and whatnot. But I'm just thinking to myself too, you do meet some people in your business that are acting in a
Yeah,
sense. They're trying to cover things, or they're trying to portray things as differently. It's almost like sharing a scene partner without the crew.
that is
You know,
a really good point because, yeah, most of the time you're entering into an acting scene with a
Mm,
client because, like you said, they're coming to you with, I need to look this way, I need to be this way, or I need you to be this way for me. And you have to really read your set partner and say, oh, you don't want me to, point that or say that thing, or you don't want to avoid that, you want to avoid that topic kind of thing. So that's like a really good point. I never thought of it that way.
no, so uh-oh. I think
I've been acting all my life,
hopefully we didn't open up a Pandora's box here. Uh,
right?
Hello, Heather. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. We are talking with actress Becky Ru tonight. Um, so here you go. Jake reaches out and he reaches out to you. And had you been in contact with him at all, or did this come out completely out of the blue?
No, I had been. His wife is one of my best friends. We've been best friends since middle school. And she sent me a message, and it was something like, Jake wants you to like be in his role, or Jake has this part for you to read. If you don't want to, it's fine. Like, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. And I was like, are you kidding? I would love to. But so I had been in contact with Jake just because Ashley is one of my really good friends. And I had hosted before he decided to redo the Clay Zombie series into a full, like a feature film. He had done oh my gosh, what's the thing? What's it called? A film show. What am I thinking? What's the word?
Film festival.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, a film festival at a local comic book store, and I did interviews for that. So that was kind of like my first jump into it, but I hadn't gotten officially invited into the Clay Zombie family yet. And then when he decided to combine all three of his shorts into a feature film, that's when Anastair made her debut. That's when she got written into the Clay Zombies. And he said, if I'm remembering correctly, he said he had me in mind when he was writing her. He may have just been saying that, or I may have just imagined
No,
that.
actually, that's one of the ways that writers do, screenwriters do write. They write with certain people to play the roles. It's very common, very
Yep.
common. Very,
Well, then,
to me, it's a tribute. It's a tribute because if they're because a lot of times you hear somebody say that, and they're always sitting about the big star. Like, who could I? I'm gonna have Brad Pitt play this role. But
yeah,
to me, I think it's a lot more cool when you go back and you go down to your, to the indie film people and you say, yeah, I can put Becky in this role. I can see her in this role
yeah,
because to me, it's accessible. It could happen. You know, yes, you can aim really high, but that's
yeah,
all you're gonna be doing is aiming. But if you go a little lower and you sit there and you go like, I know I can get this person in here, and I know I'm going to get a kick-ass performance. It's going to help my movie. I can make that happen. So to me, it's an honor. When you
it's
when you
super. And I like that's the one thing I kept saying throughout the whole thing is that I'm just so honored to be a part of it because it was really cool to be behind the scenes at a lot of the different steps. I wasn't there for everything since I live, 3 hours away, but
Mhm.
um, to be, to see some of the editing and to see like the rough final version and, to just be on set and talking to Ashley, who was almost like the assistant producer or whatever, just hearing how things were going. It was so cool to see Jake evolve from the very first video that they put together to what Clay Zombies is today. It was such an honor to be part of that and to be considered for part of that.
What was the what did you think about when you got the oh, all right,
This is, yeah.
all right,
There's
who's
this
that?
is
Who's
Sawyer.
that?
He's a panther.
Yes, I see that. I have a
We
cheetah. Wow, look at that. Panther, House
have a
Panther.
little zoo together. Hey,
Wow,
buddy.
that's a movie, right? That's a movie right there. Jake, make it
Right, the
happen.
panther and the cheetah.
That's right, Panther and the cheetah. Uh, yeah. Now, what was it like? What was it like when you first got the script? Did because I'm noticing that when Ashley called you, she says, yeah. So Jake's got a part for you, but you don't have to take it if you don't want to. Uh, to me, did she seem sort of like did it come across sort of like she was like a little nervous about what you would think about the role? Once you actually read it, like what are we making? A movie called Clay Zombies
Yeah,
with
yeah. I
stop
think it
motion,
was like
stop motion
she
clay
didn't
doll.
want me to feel obligated, maybe, which
Uh,
she should know better. She should know. I'm like, yep, camera, I'm in. Let's do it. I would love to be, part of this experience. We did it. I read it and I was like, you could have cast me as like the old crone or I don't know, something like a nun, anything, and I would have been in. But Anastar really, I was like, yep, this is my girl. This is her.
so you read it? Did you show your husband it? Did he do sides with you when you got the script?
No, I don't think so. I don't know if we were married yet. I think we were dating because we had to have been dating by then. Um, he thought today, he literally was like, oh, yeah, I thought that you just went down to help and then you just kind of created this role for yourself. So he didn't even know that I was actually originally cast. He's in here, so maybe he can comment on that a little bit, but um he didn't even realize that I had actually been.
Oops, come back. Uh-oh. I hope they didn't get touched by the clay, because that'll be a very bad day. She'll be here. She'll be back here in a second. Hey, John, how are you? Star Lord, how are you? Glad you guys are here. Yeah, that was a pretty impressive looking panther she had there. I have a feeling the Panther must have hit her phone or her camera. That could be there. There we go.
Yeah, it never fails that I accidentally always do something. I was trying to look at the comments and then I clicked the X and it shut everything down.
Right. We thought maybe it was the Panther.
The Panther attacked, yeah. Cut the power so we could cast the demonic portal or something.
Yeah. Could you imagine if they would have casted your Panther as the, like that's what I told that to Jake when we had him on the show. I says, did you notice that the zombies never went around any cheetahs? No cast didn't go around them at all.
Ooh, that would be an interesting like plot addition for the next, Clay Zombies 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Is that cats are kind of like the not the anecdote, but the kryptonite of the zombies.
You and I, we should be writing this down.
Jake, make notes. If you're still on here, make notes.
So you read the script for the first time. What was your first reaction, Becky? Did you just like was it just laugh a minute and you're going like, this is cool? Were you excited? Were you excited that you got to actually shoot a gun?
Yes, I was. I didn't know what I was doing with it. Obviously, it was not a real gun. Right. But yeah, and I'm not sure that was in it originally. I'm not sure that the gun part was in it originally because I know that obviously the script evolved quite a bit in between the very first look at it and the final production. There may have been a gun written into it. There may have been. But yeah, that was fun. And I was just like, yep, when can I get started? What do you need? What do you need from me? So we drove down and we did a table read with some of the other cast and crew. And that was pretty fun because I got to meet a lot of the people. And then we just started filming. I mean, not that day, but that was like the next step.
How many other people were on there making their film debut with you? Were there a lot of first timers? Did that help you or
they were no, I don't really think, other than some of the extras, I think that I may have been everybody else Jake kind of had found through film circles, like independent film circles. So most of I could be wrong, Jake, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the cast members were already involved in film in some like fashion.
Was that intimidating or was that or was it helpful knowing that?
I think it was helpful. If Chad may have been the only one not. Chad is I don't know for sure. He's Bill, which is Jake's brother, his sidekick. But they were all really nice. They were nice and inclusive, and I never felt, confused or left out or like I didn't know I felt like I didn't know what I was doing because Jake was like, yeah, here, just do this. And here's the scene, like, just do it. I'm like, well, what? But I need direction. Like, what do you mean just do it? I need, what am I doing? So it was kind of cool to have that flow, I think, and they were more helpful than not, for sure.
Jake's already writing down. Jake's writing it down, just letting us know. And I just had to remind him there's two E's in cheetah. So when he's starting to write the script there.
Yep.
Your first with your table read and everything else, everything was so new for you. And did you have a lot of questions, or were you just taking it all in? And how long did it take you to go from table read to first day on the set?
I feel like a while. I could be wrong, but it feels like it was a while. And we filmed, I'm trying to think, because we had filmed it in segments. So it's really funny because Anna Stair in the very beginning weighs a lot. In the beginning, she weighs a lot. But in the film, it's actually, I don't remember how it is. I don't remember if it's like flip-flop. So we had filmed what was like later parts in the script first. And then the first parts of the script we filmed during COVID, at least where Anna Stair shows up. So it's really funny because she weighs like a lot in the beginning, aka I weighed a lot in the beginning, and then as Jake wanted to add more stuff in or like things evolved, I dropped weight and I was like significantly less weight, and I was like, well, I guess that in a zombie apocalypse, I would eat my feelings and I would gain a lot of weight. So that's probably
Right.
what Anna Stair would do. So it was definitely, I think, a period of time between the table read, first day on set, and then like last day on set.
What was the first thing you were surprised at when you walked on the set for the first time? Did you always believe? Did you always believe that you belonged there? I mean, you weren't there just because of, well, because your friend wrote you in, but you were there because he thought you were a good enough actress to do the role.
Oh, I guess I don't give myself enough credit because I felt like, maybe not he was just being nice, but I wanted to make sure I did it justice for him kind of thing. But it felt good being there. And like I said, Ashley's one of my best friends. So it helped having her there. And I've known Jake forever. So it helped having those people there. I just wanted to make sure I did a good job because I hadn't ever done film before. And it's been a really long time since I've been, acting.
Right. I mean, I can understand that. There's, I mean, you don't really think about it too much, but I mean, there had to be some pressure on, because it is your first one, and it's even more pressure is because the people personally involved in it. It's not
Yeah.
just you're there hired for a job. You did an audition, and then you're there and you're acting. You were there because your friends want you there. He's directing it and everything else. I mean, I'm just imagining how a little bit you must have been just a little bit nervous.
Yeah, absolutely. Um,
But
and
once that first scene rolled, I'm sure you were fine, huh?
I warmed up quite quickly. Like I had said earlier, Jake was very like, just like do this. It was very free flow. I feel like we had a script, but it was kind of like, just, do this, do that. So I got to really kind of add in my own, like my own comedy points maybe, or my own like the little nuances of my character that I wanted to add or that I thought she maybe had. And it was hard to not be like, Jake, can I say this? Can I say that? Just stick to the script, stick with the character as it was written. And, you know, you're not the writer.
Yeah. There are some screenwriters that they definitely want you to read what they wrote. I mean, they spent all that time writing it, so
Yeah.
could you read it?
Yeah.
But then again, Jake also mentioned too, when we talked that he's not adverse. Most directors are not. Some are. Some are. Or they won't let you deviate. But he mentioned that he's willing to listen.
Yeah. He
If it works,
definitely
if
was.
if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll go back to plan A. I think those are the best directors.
Yeah.
Ones that at least let you play. Maybe
Absolutely.
maybe you won't be able to play with it, but at least you have the opportunity to present it and not get crushed for it. You know,
Right. Not feel afraid to sort of get creative or try out different things.
right? I think sometimes when you hear that, especially in some independent movies, you can always tell when a director's just starting out. A lot of the times is you hear a lot of times they'll say so and so had a wooden performance. A lot of it because they're probably just like they're afraid to cut loose is
Yeah.
because they don't want to get like being pointed out like overacting or underacting or anything. I
Yeah.
think they just go into a remote control type mode. So your first day was great. Um, what kind of crafting did the production have? Did it have a good craft table?
No, there wasn't a craft table. We
What?
filmed, yeah, no, there's no, at least not for my scenes. I think the first scene that we filmed was in Lily's kitchen. So it was a restaurant. And we did, this was all very, it wasn't like everyone presented and then we acted and we did our scenes and stuff. It was like, hey, I need to film this scene, this day. Can you make it into town? And then just the people in that main scene were there. I'm sure that for the other characters, because Anna Stair is kind of like a side character. She's not one of the main characters. So I'm sure for the main characters, maybe they had a craft table. But mine were they were kind of like isolated pockets of filming. So the first one that we filmed was in Lily's kitchen, and that's when Anastasia is going to try to get the camcorder from Ted, and
Right.
she's kind of like she has the frying pan. She like hits his hand. I think that was the first day we filmed, and the power had actually gone out, so we didn't have anything, craft table or electricity.
Welcome to independent filmmaking, right? You,
Right?
you do
Yeah, it was
you
great.
do
Go with
you
the
do
flow.
you do what you can. Though I did put down here no craft table. Call TMZ.
Yeah, Jake, for this Christmas special, I would like maybe like an eggnog and some.
Are you gonna send Jake a rider? Yeah, I think
I
yeah,
should. I
yeah.
should. This is what I need to be in the to be in
I want all red M&Ms in my dressing room. I want
red
a
and
tray.
green. I'll stick with the theme of Christmas.
Oh, that's right. Yes, yes,
Some
red and
Christmas
green.
themed cocktails. Yeah, some sugar cookies maybe.
So after the first day was over and it was all wrapped up, I mean, yeah, you were it must have just felt like okay. So how many days did you shoot in a row? How many days did you shoot in a row before you had to go home?
There were none in a row. They were all, like I said, they're like little pockets of filming. So I think I came down for 3 separate filming sets. One was the Lily's kitchen one. One was at the radio station, and that was the longest one, I think, where we were outside. And then he actually added the scene where Anastasia is like in the garage and she's like listening to Ted's conversation. He added that one in the middle of COVID. And so that was like a real quick, hey, can you come in and like film this scene? Like, when are you free? Kind of thing.
And you said it was 3 hours away, right? 3 hours
Yeah.
one way, or 3 hours combined, back and forth.
One way.
Wow.
2.5, 2:45. I might be rounding up a little, but yeah. But I mean, I'm from Columbus, so my family and stuff's down there. So I go down there at
Okay,
least
so
once a month.
you went down there, did your scene, stayed the night, then came back the next day.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I was gonna say that's some dedication right there.
I mean, I would have. I definitely would have if he needed me to, but um, it worked out that he was pretty flexible and could film when I could get into town.
Okay, okay. Um, was there any funny stories that you could share? I mean, what were some of the things that made you laugh? Made you laugh when you were on set? I'm sure you have a couple of good stories.
I'm trying to think. I think that just I Lily's kitchen was my favorite scene to film because it was such an intimate like setting, and a lot of the stuff, like a lot of the funny stories made it onto camera. So when in that Lily's kitchen scene when Anastasia hits Ted with the frying pan and he has Chad blow on his knuckles, like that wasn't part of the scene. That was like a funny thing that they just did in the spur of the moment that we were all laughing at that then made it into the final film. And same with when we're at the radio station, Chad finds that skeleton and he like takes the like it's ammo belt off and he like can't get it off, so he's like shaking it. That was like just another funny thing that happened that day that made it into the movie.
Uh, Steven's here. He says was the power out in the scene where Anastasia removed the camcorder with the frying pan? I feel it was a darker scene. Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yep,
That's
that's the
yeah,
scene.
yeah. No, Star Lord. No, I don't watch that show. I don't. I yeah. God no. God I no. Just no. TMZ. No.
Oh,
That was just the I improv. Um, okay, so now how many days total were you on set for your role?
3, and they weren't even. There was actually a 4th day. I think I came down where Ashley and I had to film something because Jake was doing something else and he needed us to like get this footage and he didn't end up using it. So I would say 4 days of like a couple hour segments.
Did you work as crew on that as well? Did you crew when you weren't when you weren't in front of the camera? Did you like
Mm-hmm.
you wanted to see how things were working and
I mean, I hung around. I definitely hung around, but I didn't help with anything because I was just going to be in the way at that point. But I did like stand and talk to Ashley. I basically hung around Ashley for the rest of the
or
time.
Did you get more excited? When Jake got a hold of you afterwards, or we got a hold of everybody and said, okay, when we're wrapped, I'm going to take it to post. Um, when did you get excited that the movie was going to get released?
Oh my gosh. I was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and it kept delaying. So Jake kept adding stuff. He just kept adding like little scenes and little recordings. So I swear it literally took forever. And then Ashley was like, "Hey, do you want to come down?" Either Ashley or Jake were like, "Hey, do you want to come down and watch the movie and give some feedback?" I was like, "Yep, just tell me when." I was so excited to see it because I'd watched, like I said, I had watched the first two shorts that he had made, and then I didn't know what the final puzzle or like the final production was going to look like because I had only been in these small chunks of filming. So it was really, really cool to see how he put it all together and kind of crafted this feature production out of kind of like a hodgepodge of filming that he had to do.
Yeah, that's it's just it's remarkable. We had the actress Emily Whitcomb was on yesterday, and she mentioned she did a movie where it took 5 years to make. And I've seen a movie. I talked to a director who
Wow.
took 5 years for his movie to get made. It's a really all it's about the passion and the drive. It's all about I'm going to get this done no matter what.
And
It's
that was
it's
definitely Jake. Definitely Jake.
Now, where did you guys premiere? Did you guys did you guys premiered it at a theater? Was that theater in Columbus? And did you get to go to the red carpet?
Yeah, so we actually had two premieres. We had a midnight premiere, and that was in London. That was in London, and that was the first one. And then I did also get to go to the red carpet one, which was in, no, that one was in London. I don't remember where the first one was. Yeah, I don't remember where the first one was,
No,
but it was
no,
in
no,
Columbus
no, no
somewhere.
Youngstown. No Youngstown though.
No, definitely no Youngstown. No, no.
Did you tell you? Did you? What did your friends and family think about when you told them that you were doing a independent horror movie?
Um, I don't know that they took it seriously. I don't know that they still take it seriously.
What? Did they not know what they're talking about? Clay Zombie is awesome.
My in-laws were actually probably more supportive than my family were. So they actually, my mother and father-in-law drove down to the midnight showing, the midnight premiere. They got a hotel and they went down there and they stayed the night for that. Um,
Awesome.
yeah, and my mother-in-law has the Clay Zombies, the signed Clay Zombies poster hanging in her office at work.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah,
That's,
it was really
that's the
sweet. It's really sweet.
like, did you know when you're standing on the red carpet and their pictures were being taken and you hear your name being called out? Did you know that this is like, okay, I could get used to this. I
Oh,
want to get back.
definitely.
I want to get back into doing this.
Definitely. Like I said, if I had a midlife crisis maybe and was like, forget counseling, I don't want to do this job anymore, which I absolutely love my day job. But if I was like, nope, done, I would just go perform, I think. Go to acting school or something, hone my skills and actually
Are you gonna do that? Are you gonna take some acting classes now? Now that you got
not right now. We are trying to start a family, so that's where a lot of my priorities is going to go and has been going. Um, but I definitely can see it in my future, especially if Jake keeps making this stuff because it's getting me connected with. There's like a local, I think the sheriff maybe is part of like a film conglomerate in Pittsburgh, which is an hour away from me and stuff like that. So there's definitely an opportunity if I prioritize it. But it's after I had like the bug afterwards. I was like, I need to get into something else. What else can I be in? Like, this is so fun. I need to.
Ohio, you're in the perfect state for it. There's
It is
so much
true. We
work.
film a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity there.
So hard to
Um,
think about, but it's true.
have you auditioned since you did Clay Zombies? Have you no, not yet, huh?
Nope. No, I think I have a fear of failure, maybe. Like, I'm afraid to make a fool of myself or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
And
I
also, there's not a lot nearby. Like, nothing. There's nothing in Youngstown. Like, there's just nothing in Youngstown. So
but Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, and that would be my next best bet. That or I mean Akron and Cleveland, they're both an hour away.
Okay.
So
You're not you're pretty good centrally. You're centrally located. I mean, you're not that far away to doing jobs if you want parts. That's a good thing.
yeah, I just
But
have
of
to,
course,
I think, get
if
the
you're gonna do
courage to do
if
it.
you're gonna start a family though, I totally get that. I mean, that's gonna be that's a commitment. That's something you want to do.
Yeah, it's been a
But
very
but I
we
like the idea that you want to do plays, so you could do that without being committed. You could do plays and work on starting a family. I mean, that's there. You still can do it. You can still both. You can have your cake and eat it too.
exactly, yeah. I've been looking for local. There is a like a Youngstown theater production, a Youngstown theater company or something. And I keep my eyes open for, the next things. Is there one I can audition for? So it's definitely something I'm interested in
Yeah,
and
I
have in
think
the back of my mind.
yeah, I think you should try it. I think I definitely do. I think it's exciting. I mean, when you watch yourself on the screen, I mean, what was the reaction? Did you notice everybody's reaction to when you came on the screen? I mean, were they cheering for you and they're going, "Hey, I know that person."
I was too busy laughing at my laughing. I think I got a case of like the nervous laughters and I could not stop laughing. Um, but yeah, I was sitting next to people who I knew and they were like nudging me like, oh, that's you. And of course my husband and my in-laws were there and excited to see me. So that was, people laughed at some of my funny stuff and that felt really good.
Let's see. Steven says, Youngstown Playhouse.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, babe. Youngstown Playhouse.
Uh, wow. So, have you thought about doing anything else as far as that goes? Maybe you can't, maybe you're not in a position really to do a lot of acting roles per se, but is there anything else in the industry that you'd like to try? Like screenwriting or, making your own little short film? Is that something that would interest you?
I don't think I'm so much interested in maybe the writing aspect. Um, I really like the acting aspect. I really enjoy that part of it. And I certainly would, if Jake needed help with something or if there was something that Jake was like, hey, could you do this? I'd be like, yeah, let's give it a shot. But I think acting's just where I find home, where my soul feels good there.
Did anybody ever inspire you for your acting? I mean, was there anybody that you looked at and modeled your style after or anything else? Did you did you influenced by anybody or just you're just letting it fly as you saw fit?
Just letting it fly. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there really was. I was a humongous Lucille Ball fan when I was younger. Um, and so I don't know if my acting is anything like her, but my life, some of I think in my early to mid 20s, some of my characteristics and my aspirations for life maybe were a bit I Love Lucy.
Jake is mentioning that you hosted the red carpet question and answer with Diane Franklin.
Yes, I
Wow,
did.
that is cool. Now, did you know who Diane Franklin was before you got involved with the movie?
I did not. I feel ashamed to say that because I know she's been in some pretty good movies. Um, but I did not know who she was beforehand.
Yeah, she did one movie as still even considered today is one of the most unusual movies ever made. The Last American Virgin.
I haven't seen it.
Have you ever watched that one?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you should look that up. That's the most unusual movie. Yeah,
Really?
yes. It's the ending is so. I mean, you talk about ending of a movie where like, wow, I didn't expect that. Like Sixth Sense, like I see dead people,
Right.
right? Uh, that movie falls right into there. It
All
falls.
right. Well, we'll have. Hey, husband, write that down as what we're gonna watch next movie night.
Yeah, the Last American Virgin is it's a mind blower.
And it would be really cool to see her in something else because I didn't watch Better Off Ted I think was the movie she was in.
Uh,
Yeah, I haven't watched any of her stuff, so that'd be really cool. And she was so nice. She was so nice.
yeah, 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 I thought she did a great job, and she had a really good part. It was well written, and it was a lot of fun, and and for us fans from the '80s,
Hmm.
it was awesome seeing her.
Yeah, it
And
was
and hats off to any director that has the courage to go out there and ask some of these older actors, because I do believe a
absolutely.
lot of them don't. I believe a lot of them never get asked. You
Hmm.
know, it's almost like, to me, it's like everybody thinks that they're being asked all the time, whereas the fact they're not. But because
Yeah,
everybody thinks they are, they
they're
don't
not
ask
asking.
themselves.
Yeah,
I would ask her, but I'm sure she's got 10 directors asking her. And every single director is doing the same thing. Like, I like to ask her, but I'm sure she's doing, I'm sure she'll say no, or I'm sure she's doing everything else. It's like you never ask.
right.
Uh,
So you
I'm,
didn't know the answer.
I'm thinking about that guy who went out there and asked Shelley Duvall to come out and do this movie called the Forest Hills, and he just walked out there and said, "Hey, would you like to do a movie?" And she goes like, "Okay." I'm
Oh,
sure,
okay.
I'm sure,
Really?
I'm sure everybody else is out there going like, "Was it really that easy? Is that all I had to do?" Um,
Was that it?
yeah, yeah. Um, so, well, I mean, what kind of roles do you want to? What kind of roles would you like to chew on if you had a chance to do another movie? What would you like? Now that you've done a horror comedy, what would you rather? What would you like to try to do now? Is there any
I
genre that you'd like to
I
sink
think
your
I
teeth
want to be
into?
a villain. I would love to be a villain in an action movie, I think.
Yeah, you're not afraid to get roll around and get dirty, then, right?
I mean, maybe. I don't know until I try. I think I would love to do that. Um, I would romantic comedies and like romantic movies make my skin crawl. So I wouldn't want to do that. Um,
Why is that? People is that something that just went over my head, or what? But is comedy really romantic comedy is really that out of style these days?
I think I'm just a rare breed female who despises the Hallmark Channel, and I can't.
Uh-oh.
I can't. I just can't.
Uh-oh. Um, Hi Anna, how are you? Don't nobody tell her that I'm a Hallmark guy.
Are
Don't
you? But see, you can check the box for me because I'm not. So they need somebody who's a follower.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It just seems like there's certain genres that this have just gotten over, they get passed over these days. A lot of actors don't really want to do certain genres, like, and you think that the one genre they wouldn't want to do is to do horror movies, but that's the one they sit there and say, "Oh, I love doing horror movies." The ones I don't really want to do anymore, they really don't want to do drama, or they don't want to do romantic comedies. And it's just like,
Yeah.
wow, it's a little surprising to hear, because to me, I think that would be pretty easy to do. Uh,
Maybe. They just feel very
Formulaic.
formulaic. It's just
Yeah.
very like, especially Hallmark. Ooh,
Oh, you know what? I do think this. That I do think by them overkilling Christmas the way they do,
ugh.
I do think that they have hurt themselves by
Yeah.
doing so, because they actually do make a lot of good movies in between those, but those tend to get lost. Like, I love the detective series. They do a lot of whodunits,
I didn't
and
even know that about Hallmark.
yeah,
Is it the same cliche love story nonsense that
no,
they do?
mm,
Really? Oh,
no, nope, nope, nope. There's some ones that I watched mystery movies all my life.
I love
Um,
mystery
they
movies.
I do too. And I watched this one they had, and lo and behold, you always feel like you can pick the villain out. You always
Yeah.
feel, nope, never saw it coming. I was like,
I did not know Hallmark had whodunits.
yeah, well, I know that, yeah. So you would love to do a detective movie then?
Oh yeah, when I was younger, I like my first job, I wanted to be Nancy Drew. Like I wanted to be a detective. That was my with the coat and the spyglass and all of that, like or the magnifying glass. I wanted to be a detective. So I would totally do a film noir, like a 1940s Sam Spade film noir mystery movie.
What do you and your husband generally like to watch when you watch TV? And when you do watch TV, especially now after you've done Clay Zombies, now that you shot a movie and it's in your, you started a movie and it's in the, on the screen. Do you watch other actors now differently with a different eye? Like before you watch it, you're a fan, but now that you actually acted in the movie, do you look at it now and like, how would you play that scene? And do you notice the lighting? Do you notice the where they shoot it at? Do you start looking at it with a different look in your eye, or are you
I
still
think so. It kind of just remembering what it was like to be like some of the challenges that, some of the shots were really challenging to get, or some of the scenes were really hard to stage because of this, that, or the other, and being like, man, what went into making this particular scene, or what went into making this, this action scene, or whatever it is. I wonder what, like, I was really into like special effects makeup. I wasn't good at it, but I was really into it. And so just like looking at the prosthetics and how people do that kind of stuff, that's fascinating to me. Absolutely fascinating.
We're talking a little bit in the chat here. They're talking about Christmas movies. I have to throw in my 2 cents about this.
Do it.
See. Yeah, a lot of people are not into Christmas movies.
Nope.
Dutch is here. Hey, Dutch, how are you? Thank you so much. Thanks for coming by, Dutch. Anna's here. Our friend Anna is here. Talk about Christmas. I like Christmas movies. I think they're fun. I mean, whether it be wholesome or they be a little bit, like Secret Santa. I love a good Christmas movie. I don't mind being a Christmas being made fun of or not. The more Christmas, I think the more Thanksgiving movies need to be. There's not enough Thanksgiving movies.
And they're usually like family, like comedy, dark comedy things when they are things. That's what I feel like. It's the family dysfunction scenes that are Thanksgiving based.
Yeah, not so much for Christmas though. People don't really like Christmas. There's a lot of screenwriters and directors that don't like Christmas, and you could definitely see that in the movie.
Yeah, I love Christmas movies. I don't like Hallmark Christmas movies.
Right. Well, does anybody have any questions for our guests? Do you have any questions for Becky? Go ahead and drop them down. We got a few minutes left before we let her go, but feel free to drop some questions. Who interviewed you first? You said you did one interview before this.
What was his name? Jake, what was his name? It was a guy on YouTube. I can't remember his name, but it was me, Jake, and Alex, and he's the guy that just interviews like a bunch of just random, like, I don't think it wasn't just film people. I think he had maybe a psychic on once. Like, he just interviews kind of a lot of different people in different paths.
I wonder what it was like interviewing a psychic.
Yeah, that would be pretty freaking cool.
Yeah,
that would be really cool.
That would be different.
Yeah, it would be. I like that. But yeah, we did that interview. And I don't think I've had another one. I would love to do more. I love talking about it. I love this kind of like extends it out a little bit,
Anna's laughing because we interviewed her and she is a psychic.
Oh, really? Well, that's
awesome. She wants to know what your sign is.
Ooh, what do you think my sign is?
I say Virgo.
No. Okay. I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, okay. All right. Hi, Mr. Bones. How are you? Thank you for coming in, sir. Yeah. Well, what other social media do you have? I have one down beneath you with your Instagram. But is there any other places that are your movie database page? Is there any other social media that we can find you on to keep track of your, in case you,
in case I like evolving it? No, not for acting. I actually, I guess this kind of counts. It's not acting, but my husband and I have been going through IVF, and I've been documenting that journey. So I have a TikTok that documents that, and I think it's Becky Ru. I I'm terrible.
I tell you what, you can go ahead and send it to me, and then if you want, I'll add it to the interview, so
Perfect.
people want to keep track of your trying to and good luck with you on that. On starting your family. I know that's important for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So yeah, if you don't mind sharing that, we'll put it out there so people can keep track of that.
absolutely. Absolutely. I love sharing my story about whatever the story is. I love sharing it. So I'm really thankful that I feel comfortable sharing some more personal information to just give people education and help a really confusing and scary and weird time in their lives, which
Right?
is
Yeah.
fertility.
My brother him and his wife are expecting a little girl in May,
Oh, that's
and
exciting.
yeah, I was just like, okay, that's amazing, because it's the second child, and he's really excited, and he felt like he missed the first one, so
Aw. He gets a redo.
and I can't wait to see how it goes for him.
I love that.
Uh, okay, and let's see, Anna says she's a Gemini. Uh, yeah, a stage plays. If you do any stage plays, yep. Listen, I want to thank you for coming out and hanging out with us. Like I said, you are the perfect person for us to talk to. And
Me on.
I was really surprised when you sit there and were like, "Do you really want to talk?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!"
I don't
Um,
even have like a big film pedigree or a big film career. Love I love
well,
acting.
you know what? It's like you said though. It's you're just starting. It's like okay, yes, you can have a family, and yeah, that might take a couple of years. The first couple of years you want to be with your child. I understand that, but you still can still act.
Yeah.
Once you still can do a job. I mean, you still can be a part and be an actor. Still can go to acting class and everything else.
It
There's
would
no
be cool to
reason.
go to an acting class. I should look into acting classes around here.
Yeah,
That would
I
be
would.
pretty fun.
And another thing too is like you could also just go down to the local playhouse and volunteer.
Oh, that's actually a good idea.
Yep, volunteer. Well, believe me, volunteers, people they love you. If you walk down there and says, "Yeah, I'd like to," and you tell them the truth. I did a movie. I want to learn more. I'd like to volunteer. Where would you need me to do?
That would be
And
cool because you could learn some of the behind the scenes stuff. And I like I said, I love the theater so very much. We're going to see Moulin Rouge in June, and I'm super excited about that. Like super excited about that.
no, is that local?
It's in Cleveland at Cleveland Playhouse Square.
Okay. Okay. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's just something that's just something I would suggest is go down to the playhouse and then volunteer because believe me, they would snap you up in a heartbeat.
Love it.
And then
Such a good idea.
yep. All right. Let's see. Jake says Becky is an awesome actress, host, and entertainer. I would agree. If she wouldn't have taken the part of Anastar, I would have been forced to rewrite the script. See, now that is nothing but high praise.
Thank
And the
you,
thing is,
Jake.
yeah. And the thing is, he's that's actually true. That's actually true. I've seen that too. There's like they can't get the actor they want, and it changes the dynamic of the character.
Yeah.
So they have to go back and do some rewrites.
Yeah.
But the fact
That's
that he
so
didn't do that,
sweet. Yeah.
it's a
I love
he,
that.
he's paying compliment to your skill level. He sees that you could do this,
Absolutely. Well,
and
Jake writes more parts for Annister. And
uh,
just a reminder that everybody can watch Clay Zombies for free on Tubi.
and you can order a copy of Zombies, Clay Zombies, on Blu-ray, and I'll put that down. I'll put Jake
ClayZombies.com.
down. Yes, clayzombies.com. I'll put that down in the description box below, and you can actually buy a Blu-ray, and it
Yep.
comes with the director's commentary and bloopers. It's legit. I
Yeah.
was,
Jake
I was, I
poured
was like,
a lot into making this happen. So even if horror or claymation isn't your thing, it's certainly worth a watch because it's just really, really cool to see the final product.
it's a,
Obviously,
it's a,
I'm
it's a
biased.
very fun movie. It's a very fun movie made with a lot of heart, a
Yeah.
lot of fun, some really good acting. Having a blast. Has Diane Franklin in it, and
Yeah, that was
yeah,
that was a big boom for us.
has Diane Franklin in it. So yes, by all means, Clay Zombies. It's one of my favorite movies I've watched so far this year.
Oh, I love to hear that. That
Yeah,
makes me so
I, I,
happy to hear.
I can tell you right now that when I do my top 20, it will be in the top 20 because it
Oh,
is that much fun. Because I absolutely had a blast with it. It's
oh, I'm so
exactly.
happy to hear that.
I
That
wish
makes
more
me
movies
really
like that.
happy.
I wish more movies like that were made. All right, boys and girls, we will be. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Again, tomorrow night, we will be dark tomorrow. We will not be having a show tomorrow night, but Thursday we will return with Carolyn Fortin. She'll be here at 8 o'clock on Thursday, and then on Friday the 10th, we have the lovely Miss August Kiss will be here. She is filming the reboot remake of Killbots, another 80s horror classic that is being directed by Jim Warnarski. So she'll be here this Friday at 8 o'clock. We will have a lot of fun. Our guest tomorrow, Audrey Neal, we will see her on the 22nd of March. And she's actually from Ohio too.
Ooh, representing.
Man, Ohio's just got a lot of talent. You stay right, you're right out there. Everybody else, I'm gonna say good night. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you. We'll see you Thursday night, or maybe a little bit later when Mr. Bones does the Boneyard. So if you're sub to Mr. Bones, there might be a Boneyard coming up. So look for that. Otherwise, we'll see you Thursday. Peace.